Hello, it's May 12, 2021. It's a CI subgroup of SIG Node meeting. And agenda is very short today. Has everybody been on KubeCon? Did you listen to any talks?
Yeah, we did.
Cool.
A lot.
Okay. Yeah, and for you it was a proper time zone, right?
Yeah, we were lucky that way.
Nice. Okay.
But actually, I watched them during the weekend because it was difficult last week for me. But
okay. So yeah, let's go to triage. Like since there is no big agenda items. I already cleaned up board a little bit now. Let's go to PRs that needs review, and then we'll go into there is an issue that in progress but has no assignee. Okay, let's go through PRs that needs reviewer. Restart kubelet flag. Is Amim here? He was just replying to one of the PRs. Yeah, but he didn't join. I think Ike is working on that. Yeah, Ike is looking at that. Somehow this job is not responding to any PRs. So I'm just restarting tests on that. Does anybody else wants to look at this? It's I think a restart flag will unblock some of the activities.
Yes, I can take a look.
Okay.
Because like I had a lot of issues with the automatically restart of the kubelet by the service.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Artem. Okay, so this is Matthias. Hi, Matthias. So no assignee. I will be like first. Let me triage it. Just a second, I'll take a look. Sorry for delay. I know you pinged me before.
it's fine. That's not the reason why I'm here.
Yeah. So does this PR supposed to fix everything?
Yes, it does. There are two fixes. First, I fixed the test. I explain actually why we should have the sleep before startup that is bigger than the readiness probe period seconds, because otherwise we are triggering a readiness probe while it's still not accepting any probe. But in order to do that, I need the fix in the code that is up. Actually, this fix uncovered a bug, so there is like a bug in the kubelet itself.
Okay. Is it make possible to add additional kernel arguments? Okay, it's from Artem. Do you have some context, Artem?
Yeah, like I already mentioned before, like to provide some better testing for CPU manager, topology manager, and memory manager.
we need some additional NUMA nodes under our upstream CI instances. So one of options is to provide some custom kernel argument like fake NUMA that will emulate NUMA nodes on the machine. So I tested it locally with the latest COC 89 long-term support image, and it worked. So probably it should be fine. And also, I believe someone maybe will want to test some additional features with additional kernel flags, and it also can be useful.
Okay. Anybody interested to review? This seems to be infrastructure mostly.
Yes, exactly. Mostly testing infrastructure.
I can check if you want, because that's my other SIG.
I forgot your GitHub.
Double T H Y X M A, sorry, MA double T H Y X.
Okay, right. Thank you, Matthias. Okay. Add option to fail instead of skip. I think this is also assigned to Ike. I might be wrong. It's very annoying when you cannot really assign to person. No, it's not. Jessica, can you explain what it is so we can find an owner?
Yes. So we have those tests, which, to properly exercise topology manager, CPU manager is not enough. So you want to have devices. During the topology manager almost 1 year ago, Derek was pretty convincing that, yeah, better use real devices. So what's the most common real device? SRV devices, and this is what let's here. Now on CI, we don't have yet any kind of SRV devices or any kind of device plugins, but if I'm not mistaken, maybe GPUs on some special lanes, but still. So test will skip because they will run against the CPU manager. But on some organization, namely Red Hat, we will have machines with those devices, SRV devices in our case. So in our case, if the test skip instead of failing, it's bad because devices are supposed to be there. In CI, at the moment are not supposed to be there, so it's better to skip and run what will possibly run. But on environments in which devices are there, they need to fail because it's an environment failure, it's a test failure, it's something you want to check. And so we added this option to make both words happy. So if you know you have devices like in custom environments, unfortunately, you enable. Otherwise, you keep things as they are, and CI runs like today is doing. And if you have it, you use it. If you don't have it, you skip it, and it works. So this is the idea.
But this is not specific to OpenShift. You want the test to be upstream, right?
No, this is Kubernetes component of, we do have OpenShift coverage, but this is totally about basic Kubernetes. I mean, Kubernetes feature, things Kubernetes very much want to have it running and keep running.
Do we test any devices in Kubernetes upstream?
As far as I know, no, just because you don't have any device, any special devices, because the device plugin supports a subset of devices. Go on, Artyom.
I think we have something with the GPU because at least under the test infra,
Yep, that's
specify the GPU device.
That's correct. That's correct. That there's something I will like to check. Eventually, didn't manage to do it yet.
Artyom, do you want to take this?
Sorry, too many tabs. So yeah, no problem. I will take it.
Thank you. Six unsafe sig-scheduling conformance test cases. So the fix is to remove some conformance tests, it looks like. Oh, because yeah, because of minimum version. I see Mike is on the call. Mike, do you want to introduce yourself? Do you want to take this?
Sure, I can take it.
What is your GitHub handle?
M Miranda 96.
And Miranda, what?
96.
96. You'll get a notification, but it wouldn't be assigned to you per se, but you'll get a notification in your email inbox. Okay. So I think this is strange. A task that doesn't have any assignee, but it's marked as in progress.
Yeah, I saw pull request. I also reviewed it.
Is it good?
It was some jobs that failed, and I provided all needed information under the comment, so it's waiting for auto.
Okay. Okay, and we have a few issues in to-do list. If anybody wants to take any task, is anybody like short of tasks? I know that right now there is a hot period with caps and such. So if you don't have task and you want some, let me know. We can go through the to-do.
Do you know, by the way, who is responsible to set label, for example, first good issue? Because I saw someone asked asked for some issues to contribute under the signal channel, and like we don't have enough like first good issues, and we have just a bunch of issues, but it's problematic to find the easy one to code something.
Yeah, so there are a bunch of commands for that. Good first issue is one. When you're setting good first issue thingy, you need to make sure that you set in you give enough context what needs to be done. Otherwise, the good first issue becomes impossible first issue.
Yeah, exactly. It was my like initial questions, like, do we have some like grooming to do it, like, because we have a lot of issues and maybe we can to do like once I don't know, once per year or once per month to label issues that we are thinking is good for like first contribution.
Yeah, it's a good point. I just went through this exercise. Mike just joined the team, and I suggested some few issues for Mike. But yeah, it's a very tiresome process to find a very good first issues that are non-blocking, important, and enough scope. Did you manage to find some issues, or?
Again, probably like writing end-to-end test. It's not affect like the production. Again, it's like not easy. Again, you should understand the infrastructure, but I think in the beginning of this document we have some links, some relevant links to better understand, and I believe this group is started also with a point to do it, like to stabilize our CI, to introduce new end-to-end tests, and we had like much more people in the beginning. Yeah.
Go.
No,
I have
sorry, Francesco.
I have a proposal, which is if we as a group can identify like a checklist, how a good first issue look like, then when we do during the rest of the week, we maybe find some issues which we fit the criterias. And maybe if we decide to have like a monthly meeting, we join together, everyone provides his sublist and we review, or we just add the label ourselves without syncing. But I think we will need to agree about or find a good definition how a good first issue look like. For example, it has to be clearly defined, it has to be small or expect to be small, things like that. And when we have that, we can basically move on in a lot of ways. What do you folks think?
Yeah, I think it can work, and probably also like writing code coverage and to find places that doesn't have enough like testing coverage can be also some good point, because I saw someone contribute some topology manager test, like not topology manager, CPU manager for the topology package unit tests. So also it's not critical, so no one will like ping you and will ask you when it will be ready, so you will have time to understand and to work on it. Also, it will give you a better perspective on the feature, because when you are writing unit tests, you are really starting to understand how the feature is working. So maybe it's can be a good start.
Makes sense. Yeah, increasing code coverage is a good thing. I don't know, like when we started this group, like we wanted to first identify critical issues and like critical tests and monitor that they're not breaking, but then we also wanted to increase code coverage, and we never get to the point when we identify areas that are not well covered by end-to-end tests. So maybe this is something that we can start looking into, because like recently we have like, I mean, right now node conformance tab is totally broken, and I think there is an item for that. Let me find out who is looking into that. No. Oh. Okay, I need to figure out why it's not on the board. But yeah, so everything looks fine. So we can start identifying more areas that needs to be covered.
We still have we still have serial drop that just like after we increase the memory, it just started to fail after the 6 hours of running. So it did not succeed to finish after the 6 hours. So probably we also can take a look on the serial drop, or at least start to divide it. Maybe, I don't know, because like we drop anything that can be parallelized under the serial lane, and now we have such long such job with a long runtime that probably we cannot really debug it because we don't have logs because pod was killed before logs was collected.
Artyom, did you notice if it just reached the timeout, or I mean, it was just running, it was maybe stuck, or did you notice?
At least when we increase the amount of memory, it just failed on the timeout. Like, for example, if I will check now the test grid for the node kubelet serial, and like, yeah, it's failed on the timeout. Like end-to-end kube test timeout triggered, and that's it. And you also don't have any logs.
Do we have an issue for that?
I think we had a couple of issues for serial drop because it was one issue and after another one, but for current one, I think we don't have one.
Yeah, I think we closed the issue with increasing of memory, right? And
Yeah,
we never
exactly,
opened new one.
Exactly, something like this.
Okay. Do you want to open a new issue?
Yeah, sure.
So we can start discussing. Thank you. And there is a issue on AMIM, I think, to clean up orphans. So this is tracked. Seriously, I need to check like what's going on because I clearly like saw the issue. I'll double check. Oh yeah, this one. Okay. So I think of this AMIM. So for me, sure, good. Fine. I will find the issue.
Yeah, by the way, orphans looks like the easier one because again, it's have something around 3 tests that failed, and it also has all relevant logs. So
Yeah, they mostly need to be cleaned up from like perspective of not running tests that already covered in other places. So we need to de-orphan some tests. Okay. Does anybody know which areas are not well covered with end-to-end tests and needs to be covered? Any fast suggestions right now, or we like following Francesca's suggestion and like note it for ourselves and maybe discuss it in a meeting or two?
yeah, I currently don't have any perspective except like CPU manager, like again, some resource managers that I often worked with, like CPU, topology, and memory. But other stuff, I don't really aware how well it's covered by end-to-end tests.
Okay, let's just not like Matthias, you wrote a lot of tests for probes and stuff like this area. Do you feel that we are lacking any?
I don't know. I would say no, but on the other hand, we always find some funny side effects. So probably we could increase try to see if we can increase coverage. But the thing is, if you only look at code coverage, it does not test like all the cases, right? It's always difficult to see edge cases in the test unless you really know the system. So At least unit test is easy to determine the coverage, but for end-to-end tests, I don't know.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I agree. Like that's why unit tests and code coverage are like less important for me. I really like, and it's easier. Like I have this data, I can just get data and create issues for uncovered modules. It's fine, but end-to-end tests are very important. Like you need to understand what's covered and what features not well covered, and it's really hard to do sometimes. Yeah, for instance, I'm still concerned about initial timeout seconds for probes, and I'm not sure how we calculate this initial timeout. So especially for readiness probe, when there is a startup probe as well. So yeah, I'm not sure we cover this with unit test, and we check in that we respect this initial timeout.
Yeah, this I can look into if you want. This particular one, yes, I can. But
Yeah.
other areas of the kubelet, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I will start looking as well. Any other topics? Swati, you didn't have a chance to talk much. Do you want to share what you're working on? Like, do you want some other tasks? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so I've been working kind of with Francesco on this new feature related to making it strict to have SMT alignment in case of workload request CPUs. So that's pretty much what I've been working on. Like at this point in time, like that has been the focus. But if there's things that are looming around, again, similar to Artem and Francesco, my experience would be CPU manager, topology manager, maybe a little bit, and the resource manager side of things. So if there are tasks on that or reviews that I can do there, I would be happy to help. But other than that, I'm not sure. Yeah, like if there's anything that is important or something, just hand it over to me. I'll do my investigation and try to chip in.
Thank you. Okay then. Jamin, do you want to? You just joined, right?
Yeah, I just joined. Yeah.
Do you want to, like, I mean, do you need any task, or like, are you looking for some tasks right now, or you have something to do? I know you have one PR
Yeah, I'm
going
just,
on, right?
Yeah, I think I have one PR needed. Charge accept. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, this concludes our test part. Like, and now we need to go into product backlog. I will stop recording